I never have nightmares. Isn't what this site is built on? Nightmares? Well, this one was different. It just might build new awareness. I'm bipolar, so when I get angry, I get furious. Before my family knew I had this disorder, I used to destroy things in tears and try to hurt anything that lay in my path, just to show them how I feel. Can you relate? But then medication stepped in and my little angry screams in the middle of class died down. I was naive. I was in Sweeney Todd this one summer, playing the part of the rival Barber Pirelli. However, I was shy and awkward around the 17-year-old who played the demon barber. Not because I liked him, but you could say I was a bit starstruck. Why? I was just a 7th grader. Naive. Unsuspecting. Unschooled. I was very angry with myself for acting so stupid around him. At times I hoped that it wasn't obvious, but I knew deep down that it was out there in plain sight. Bedtime. My mom shouted up the stairs. I shut down my laptop, go upstairs cautiously. I had been reading too much Creepypasta. Get into my pajamas, get into bed, and turn off the light. Usual routine. I woke up and immediately became confused. A. My alarm didn't wake me up, and B. I was in my old house. I sat up slowly, knowing I was dreaming. What kind of dream was the question? I heard a small drone that changed pitch every now and again. I got out of bed and realized I was in a dress I hadn't worn in years. The dress was white and sparkly with gold trimming. But that was the dress I knew. This dress was twisted, black with red trimming. What was this? Something told me to go into the living room where the noise was coming from. So I obeyed my thoughts. A piano. That's what the noise was. Ever so slowly, I walked down the hall into the living room. It was strange that I recognized the song, yet I thought I had never heard it. What felt like several minutes were only seconds. Finally, I got a glimpse of the living room. No. It was all wrong. Black and gray windowless walls, a dark marble floor, no furniture. And there, in the middle of the room, was a piano. And someone playing it. I grew afraid. Maybe if I walked back to my room, I would wake up. You can't run or hide from me, dear. The piano stopped. I spun around to see a woman. No, she was too young. But her voice made me think of that. She wore a long black dress that touched the floor. Her hair was a fiery red and was worn in a long ponytail above her head, and her eyes. Oh, those terrible, glowing, tear-open you soul eyes. They were a bright, fiendish yellow. Tell you what? I said in fear. Do you know who I am? She smiled to show pointy yellow teeth. I quickly tried to rack my brains. She seemed so familiar, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I snapped out of my trance when the room went black. I was hanging by my arms and my head by strings, like a puppet. I couldn't move. What was going on? The strings attached to my head loosened, letting me look down. Then I saw him. The boy playing Sweeney Todd. His arms were over his face, like he was shielding himself from something. I then realized he was in his costume for the show. Even his hair was black with a white stripe sticking skywards. Then the girl playing the piano appeared. She had a scythe in her hand. I watched in horror as the girl raised the scythe high above her head in the boy's direction. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. Time's up, sweetheart. And the scythe came down. I woke up to a blood-curdling scream. My own. I was drowning in a sea of sheets, flailing wildly. I eventually calmed down and sat up. I was back in my new house. The dress and the colors were back to normal. But I was still hesitant. I got the picture for you. At break for lunch during play practice, a friend of mine came up to me. What? I asked. The picture you requested me to draw. Oh, yeah. I took the paper from her as she walked away. When she was gone, my jaw dropped. No. My dream came back to me in a rush. It was the girl with a scythe. It was even in her hand and colored. She was the only thing in the picture that was colored. All the rest was a black background. But they were not friendly colors. Then I took my iPod out and listened to one of my darkest and most loved songs. Still dull. That was what she was playing on the piano. But her name, that was what had me at a standstill. That night I flew open my sketchbook and found my own drawing of the girl. Keep in mind, I'm a writer. I made a Pokemon-like profile of her. Name, Ulazara. Age, unknown. Gender, female. Power, S. Mind manipulation. Weapon, S. Scythe. Description, very similar to her creator, me. She is said to be the creator of destruction, madness, and anger herself. She is the Hyde of her creator, an evil twin. I sat there in silence. I kept reading the last sentence over and over again. But why was the teenager playing Sweeney there in my nightmare? Realization hit me like a backhand across the face. My anger with myself was because of him. My anger makes me Ulazara. Did my subconscious want me to get rid of him? I was Ulazara. I was Jekyll. She was Hyde. She is inside of me. But then again, we all are monsters deep down, aren't we? Like Stephen King once said, monsters are real, ghosts are real, too. They live inside us. And sometimes they win. But that one line, I will never forget. Time's up, sweetheart.